Hey, Robert in New York. You're talking to Eric and Jamie. How are you doing?
Sup?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Doing all right.
Godless.
Holy crap, I just checked the live chat. We had a $50 donation, a $5 donation, and a $25 donation. You guys are fucking amazing. We're going to go to the convention. Sorry, Robert. That made me really happy.
Yeah. You know what? You guys just mentioned something. If Vanguard is on after you guys next week, what's happening with the Atheist Experience?
Got it. Okay, so what's happening is
that's not what I want to talk about.
There'll be a new show next Sunday. It will be premiered on the AXP channel. It's just the recording part of it is happening in Cincinnati. So from the perspective of the viewer, the crowd size will be larger because the regular show isn't filmed in a large hotel. But other than that, we won't be taking calls because we can't take calls, and it's going to be on Saturday. So if you're in Cincinnati and you can get a ticket, come and see us because we're going to be on at 1:30 in the afternoon on Saturday. We're going to be sending that recording over and then playing it during our regular spot because people make that part of their routine. Yeah. So as far as from the viewer's perspective, it'll be at the regular time, and if you watch it while it's premiering. I know that Eric has talked about it, and as many of the hosts as I can prod into doing it may very well show up in the live chat. So you can
hang out and
tell them, wow, your hair looks weird, and they can respond, yeah, I know, it was my bad.
Yeah.
Or, wow, your hair looks awesome, and they can say, yeah, I know, every week. Whatever.
All right, well, let me just jump right in here. Because I did call last week, so I want to clear up something from last week. When I said, Jamie, when I said hope for religion, what I meant is hope that religion in a modern form, and again, I'd love to talk about Islam, although that's not something I have in my notes in front of me. Maybe I'll call another time. But I am hoping that religion can coexist next to the overall secular society and not have, a heavy influence in politics. And that's basically, I guess, the main way I would put that. So I just wanted to clear that up. So also just to run through real quick, give you some background, was raised Jewish, was in Hebrew school from around age 6 to 7 to my bar mitzvah around age 13. I forgot to mention, I said that was the last of my last work inside the Jewish faith. I went on a birthright trip in 2012. And I have to say, it was fantastic. And this is actually, I spoke to Truth Wanted a few days ago, and I was saying to them, I was so envious of everybody's convictions. And that's one reason I was saying, I quote, want to believe. Not I want to be a theist, just I want to, I wish that, again, like I was saying the other day, like about, I wish there was an afterlife. I wish things were a little more, you could know a little more, but that's really it. It wasn't that I wanted to be a theist. But my question is, I wasn't scorned by Judaism. I wasn't scorned by the faith, by any rabbis, by just anybody. So I actually, I'm very, very proud of my Jewish heritage. I'm very proud of my ancestors. So it's like, how do I reconcile loving that, enjoying that? My niece is almost 3 now, and I'm sure my sister's going to raise her secular. I don't think she's going to bring her to temple and stuff. But we do Passover, we do Hanukkah, lighting the candles. So we still do traditions, things like that. But I'm curious what your guys' opinion on reconciling the love for the heritage, but the complete disregard for the theism.
So I understand that being raised in a situation in particular where those two things were associated makes, it brings up the idea of, how do I reconcile these things? But for me, it's almost a non-issue because I open presents with my family on Christmas, and I don't believe in a God. And if I wasn't going to be in Cincinnati, I would probably be hunting for eggs with my family or whatever traditions they have now, because I've missed last year's Easter and this year's Easter, and I'll probably miss the next one. But just acknowledging, a long time ago people believed something, and there isn't a good reason to, and now we don't. it almost provides an opportunity to have those discussions. So, I mean, hopefully, are you saying that you feel conflicted engaging in these traditions because they're associated with this belief, or?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It's a little difficult. It's a little difficult to explain exactly how I feel, just because, I know that there's so much mythology tied up in the traditions that I do enjoy, in the heritage that I do enjoy. So, you know what? Honestly, I guess it's probably not. Probably not easy for you to really give me an answer to respond if I can't exactly pinpoint the words here. So
there's a little bit more, and I think you might, and I mean this in the most generous way possible. You might be overthinking this, bro. I mean, at the end of the week,
point, it is.
Yeah. I'm sorry, not at the end of this week, but the week after, I'm going to be going with friends to go see Avengers Endgame. Right? I enjoy the mythology. That doesn't mean that I believe in it. Right?
You don't believe in Thor?
And so, in the same way,
how dare you?
Jamie's example of celebrating Christmas and Easter is another one. That's part of our cultural heritage, and the high holidays and whichever holidays you want to pick, those are part of your cultural heritage. You can absolutely celebrate those. The things that we care about don't really mean that you can't celebrate the people that you love, because that's the part you should be taking away. You should find every opportunity to celebrate the people that you love. The things that we want to talk about have everything to do with what you accept as true in regards especially to deities or magic. And the rest is just fluff. I mean, take the fluff. The fluff is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't let anyone for any reason. I mean, I may not have been raised in the Jewish tradition. There's a part of me that wishes I was, because don't let anyone for any reason tell you can't eat that food, because it is the best.
No, please. I didn't even know. I felt like such a fool. I went to Israel, and we got there, and we landed, and I didn't know until then, years after my bar mitzvah, that you couldn't eat, even if they were both kosher, you couldn't eat meat with the cheese. So when they were offering us ham and cheese sandwich, I didn't know they literally meant a ham sliced between two pieces of bread, or a cheese sliced between two pieces of bread.
Yeah.
That's such a ridiculous part of my religion. Oh my God. So
yeah.
Take the good.
I know
leave
that.
the bad.
What do you? Yeah. Sorry.
So, okay,
not to shame you in your tradition, but that's the whole thing.
Oh, no, it's
the dairy and the meat.
Holy mother of.
Yeah, people really want us to go to Cincinnati.
They do. We just had a $300 donation by Travis Thompson. It's one of the biggest donations we've ever had in the history of the nation.
We had a $5 donation from a person that said, I'll donate $45 more if you bring in an audience member.
Right. We had a $6.66 donation.
For the rest of the show. And I was going to leave it there, but I think Matt is still technically in the audience. So I feel like that's probably not what they meant, but
give me a reason to say, take that, atheist experience. Let's seriously kick their asses.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Yes. Come on. We can do it. We can do it. We are very close friends with Matt, which means he will never, ever hear the end of it.
Yep. We'll rub it in.
You can help us do that. That's the dream.
Robert, was there anything else that you wanted to ask us before we move on to the next call?
Yes. I actually,
he's giving us the stink eye.
For me, this isn't for me personally, actually, but I think this is a good conversation just to have for the audience and everything. Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about two things? Let's start, or let's say, prison reform, or how they rehabilitate prisoners. Mm-hmm. A lot of times they have to find Jesus or find Allah, and that's kind of how they find a regimen for them to try to, I guess, live their life by. So there's that I'm curious to know what you guys think would be maybe a better way of rehabilitation aside from obviously like programs designed to help them when they're out there. But that, and then actually what I think might be a better question is, regarding Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous. First of all, I absolutely hate that they say you are powerless to this disease. I absolutely think that's just completely false. But the higher power thing drives me crazy. Sure. When I remember actually, going on a personal experience. One time when I was at an NA meeting, and I was talking to them about higher powers. And, they're like, oh, it doesn't have to be God. Somebody was like, oh, yeah, my higher power was my seatbelt. That was my... But I just don't understand that. I wonder what you guys might think.
Sure.
Yeah, it's strange to me. I wonder what you guys
the higher
think
power
might be a better, just a better way to rehabilitate people in general, aside from trying to point them towards religion or a higher power.
The higher power is my seatbelt thing is much snarkier than anything like, oh, if I believed that this coffee mug was God, like that, someone literally did that.
Yeah, I mean, there are entire groups of people who are sarcastic atheists who worship a flying spaghetti monster, or also, go for the satanic. There he is, the Satanic Temple.
No, it wasn't.
We've got the Book of Eric.
Though it was
no. What I was saying is,
it's not
Eric,
a real thing.
He was sincere. His higher power was his
seatbelt.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so much less charitable than I was giving him. Okay, so let's kind of break it down. Yes, it is true that if you move into religion, you're likely to have a shorter prison sentence, and that just goes to show how much more work we have to do. And it's something that I've been thinking a lot about because I'm going to be going into a debate on May 2nd with a gentleman who was saying that he went to prison, learned about God, and then became a moral person.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is, when you give your morals up, right? When you give your decision making up for someone else to make those decisions for you, you're not acting as a moral creature. You're behaving, in a way that you're just doing what you're told. You're not actually showing that you're moral. And so I absolutely hate it. And I agree. I think that when you follow AA, NA, OA, or any of those groups, I hate that they don't publish their recidivism rates. I hate that you have to be religious and yet courts mandate that you have to go if you in that way. So agreed. It just means we've got a lot of work to do. And that involves everybody getting active. And we'll help. We'll be there. We'll sound the call, and we just hope that you're there when the time comes. If that's about it, I think we're going to move on to the next call, Robert.
Completely get it. Actually,
yeah. All right.
All right.
We'll talk to you.
Take care, buddy.
All right. So what I will add is that it's been brought up. Yeah, AA is. I think someone in the chat said, "Oh, it's inherently religious." So it's a little bit decentralized, and it kind of depends on which group you go to. It was started, I think. It was started in a church by, I think, literally in the church's basement, but by what's-his-face McLast name. And so it was like, here's God, and in the big book, there's like, oh, here's what you should believe. Agnostics, oh, come on, you believe, and atheists, doom on you, or whatever. SMART is a good alternative. It's secular. It's a secular recovery project. We've mentioned it at least before and talked to people in it and help with that. Additionally, someone said, all hail the flying spaghetti monster, and put in $10.
Yes.
Ramen, but I prefer to look to the sky and see the glow cloud. All hail the glow cloud. And now I'm ready for the next call.
If you haven't seen Welcome to Night Vale, it's a really cool show.
Don't.
Check it out after
Don't
this.
name the show.
It's a thing. It's cool.
No, you
but
don't
the Book of
name
Eric
the
is the
show.
official
You did it
religion
wrong.
of this show.
You did it wrong. Also, there's nothing to see. All right.